What name is guy? Itauma. Moses Atama. I think he's a great fighter. The young, 20 years, yeah?
20.
Yeah, 20 years. I think Itauma have big future.
Oleksandr Usyk's camp has finally spoken as the boxer's future continues to dominate conversation across the sport.
Turkey's put out that he wants to see you fight Oleksandr Usyk next. Reaction to that?
I want to do it as well, but it's not in my hands, is it?
Would you fight him?
Of course.
Yeah.
Ask Turki has said he wants to see you fight Oleksandr Usyk next. Reaction: he'd love to make that fight happen, but it's not entirely in my hands, is it? Would I fight him? Absolutely. With back-to-back statement wins, including a devastating knockout over Daniel Dubois to defend his undisputed heavyweight crown. Usyk now finds himself surrounded by a flood of challengers eager to share the ring with him. One of the loudest names calling for a shot is 20-year-old phenom Moses Atama, who has shaken up the division in record time. His jaw-dropping knockout of Dillian Whyte in less than a minute turned heads around the globe. Still, Usyk's team insists the champion isn't rushing into anything, making it clear that his next steps will be taken on his own terms.
You must have a view of what level you're at now.
If you want my honest opinion, I think
I do.
If my skill set, if you're talking about my ring IQ and what I display in the ring, I feel like I am the best in the world, but I haven't displayed the later rounds. That's all what I kind of want to get ticked off. So my next opponent or opponents this year, we're just looking at fights to kind of get me into that later round, because I feel like with Usyk, I feel like I've got a better skill set than him, but I feel like towards the later rounds, he'll just outdo me, because I've never been in that sort of fight.
Usyk's dismantling of Dubois, sealed with a brutal fifth-round knockout, added yet another milestone to his remarkable career. At 38, the Ukrainian superstar has etched his name in history as a two-time undisputed heavyweight champion. His camp, led by manager Sergey Lepan, has been firm in their stance. Usyk has earned the right to move forward at his own pace. After climbing through such a grueling journey to the top, his team believes he deserves a chance to heal up, address lingering injuries, and spend valuable time with family before making any big decisions about the next chapter of his career.
Do you expect Joseph to get a shot at Usyk anytime soon?
I don't know. I don't know. You know, Joe's doing everything within his power. He was at Wembley, he got in the ring, he's done those famous call-out videos, and I don't know. I think it's probably 80% 22 against getting the fight with Usyk. But the WBO have ordered Joseph as the mandatory. Usyk has 30 days. That should be coming up soon. That should be coming to an end. And in that case, Joe will fight, either become the full champion or fight, which I would prefer, fight for the vacant title. And, you know, the winner of Saturday night could be the opponent in the opposite corner. You never know.
Where are you? Do you see that fight ever happening? Because I think that's one of the fights that Oleksandr Usyk shouldn't take. Moses Atama, but I also don't think it's right for Moses at this moment in time.
Well, listen, let's start off with, Oleksandr Usyk is a fight where you get to a stage where you're in the twilight of your career, and he's probably going to have one more fight, if he has one more fight, and that's possibly this man here, but you go, like, at some point...
Which, by the way, he's earned.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. But at this, you know, when you've got the young kids coming through, it would be a disaster for Moses Atama to take a fight against Oleksandr Usyk now, because you've got a kid that's going to potentially be, you know, the next dominant force of heavyweight boxing for maybe the next 10 years.
Let me ask you two boys about Moses. I mean, obviously, he's a competitor, he's a rival. He's the young one that's getting a lot of attention and blasting people out. You've just landed in the heavyweights, Lawrence. When you think of Moses Atama, what do you think of?
Yeah, I think of pretty much what everyone else is saying. Obviously, I've sparred him, I've seen him, and it's not fake. Like, it hasn't come from out of thin air. The guy's actually really good at boxing, I'll be honest with you.
Yep.
So we have to obviously wait and see how he does the rounds, see how it is under pressure of fight nights. But ultimately, from everything that I know of him, he's got a good mindset. And he is someone that if I was just looking as a fan, I would get behind at this early stage, because to be 20 and doing the stuff that he's doing, like,
The heavyweight division is buzzing with excitement, largely thanks to the rapid rise of Moses Atama at just 20 years old. The young powerhouse has already shown a frightening mix of precision and knockout strength. His recent destruction of former world title challenger Dillian Whyte stunned the crowd in Saudi Arabia, ending in mere seconds of the opening round. That emphatic victory marked Atama's 9th straight stoppage within 2 rounds, a staggering achievement for any fighter, let alone someone so young. With such raw power on display, his name has quickly rocketed to the forefront of heavyweight conversations.
Want to see Moses with Oleksandr Usyk next, or too soon?
No, calm down. Let's get him in with Hrgovic, Caballel, those kind of guys, Bacoli, Jarrell Miller. Get the rounds, you know, but he's a brilliant talent.
From Dillian White, but you've got to look at it. What's the next step after Dillian White?
I think a few more like that.
Yeah, but who is there? So he goes Dillian White, who does he go next? Joseph Parker? I just think they let him off the leash. He's not ready, don't get me wrong, he's not ready for Oleksandr Usyk in any way, shape or form. A man who hasn't been past 6 or 7 rounds cannot be ready for Oleksandr.
Naturally, Atama's meteoric ascent has sparked talk of him stepping in against elite champions like Usyk, while Atama's camp has expressed openness to the idea. Many respected voices in boxing are urging caution. Legendary trainer Teddy Atlas, for example, has been vocal about the dangers of rushing Itauma into a showdown with the reigning king. While acknowledging Atama's extraordinary talent, Atlas insists the 20-year-old still has plenty to learn before taking on a fighter as experienced and skilled as Usyk.
He's special. He's 20 years old. He's a good kid. He seems to have a good head on his shoulders, not just boxing-wise, but life-wise. Seems to have people around him in his life. He's got a great promoter in Frank Warren, but he sees everything. He knows where to go, where not to go. He doesn't waste anything. That's amazing for me, how this guy doesn't waste anything. Oh my God. He is well trained. Ben Davidson and his other coaches that were there before Ben Davidson, give them credit. They've taught this guy good technique. All the technique he's gonna need to go with that fabulous ability that God gave him, that his parents bequeathed on him in genetics. You can have all the ability in the world, but you have to have the technique to use it properly. He has that too. He's been taught really well.
Atlas compared the potential matchup to climbing Mount Everest too soon. In his view, Atama's journey requires patience, facing opponents who can gradually sharpen his skills before he dares to challenge the summit. Taking on Usyk right now, he warns, would be premature and potentially damaging for the youngster's development.
I would also wait on a Usyk fight. I know that Turki Alalshikh is talking about that, and that might come to pass with the money and everything else. But for me, if I'm with Moses, I'm saying let him get 1 or 2 more fights before we go to the top of Mount Everest. Let's climb a couple more peaks. Let's go. There's a mountain over there, and there's another one over there. Let's climb them, and then we're ready for the ultimate.
Former world champion Carl Froch echoed that same concern. Froch pointed out the vast gulf in experience between the two fighters, Usyk with years of amateur pedigree and multiple world championship bouts, versus Itauma, who is only at the dawn of his professional career. Froch cautioned that stepping into the ring with someone of Usyk's caliber too early could derail Itauma before his journey even begins. Despite his undeniable promise, Froch believes a clash at this stage risks becoming a career-defining mismatch.
Yeah, you can't rush Itauma. For me, if I'm managing Itauma, you're not chucking him straight in there with Usyk, putting in an old veteran who's got hundreds of amateur and undisputed cruiserweight and heavyweight title fights underneath him, chucking him in with a 20-year-old young gun, because that could be the finishing of him, couldn't it?
His Excellency is a fan.
Yeah.
He's a fan, so therefore he wants what fans want. But he's not a coach, so therefore coach will say, no, this is best for the fighter. He's not the fighter, so he wants, he's in a position to try and get the dream fights. So, and you can't blame that, because he's doing what he does. The managers and the trainers have got to do what they do, protect the fight or let you fight off the leash. So,
yeah, but for us, then it's going to be a Hrgovic fight. It's a step up, have another look at him, see where he's going, and then build on from that. And maybe if Usyk's still around in a year or so, because he might be, because he loves the sport, doesn't he? It's a training, he loves it. That might be a fight in 12 to 18 months. But for now, 20-year-old Moses Atama with a performance like that, if he then steps in again and then steps up a little level against Hrgovic, because it would be a step up, demolishes him, it's going to be hard to match him up with anyone but a world champion. So we're going to see how the landscape changes and what opens up if a belt does become vacant.
We can handle that responsibility, and so far how he talks before, during, after. There was no badness between him and Dylan in the build to this fight. He was respectful. He said, you know what, I sent you a message when I was 14 years old to spar with you. He was respectful and humble. I thought, I like that. And so it's just how he handles all this adulation, how he handles the business side around.
On the other side of the debate, David Haye has been far more optimistic about Itauma's future. Haye has gone as far as comparing him to Lennox Lewis, calling Itauma a potential heir to Britain's heavyweight throne. In Haye's eyes, the young contender has all the makings of a global icon, perhaps even capable of surpassing Lewis's legendary legacy. That said, Haye still urged patience, reminding fans that greatness takes time. While Itauma may not be ready to dominate the division just yet, Haye sees every sign of a future world beater.
Fury sparred enough rounds with Itauma to know what type of force he is, and he's tasted Usyk's power. He's got 24 rounds of action, so he knows both of them very well, and you got to take it seriously. If he says that, fair enough. All he's doing is diminishing, his value as he lost to Usyk, and if he says Moses is better than and is going to wreck Usyk, does that mean that Moses is better than him? Is that what he's saying? Because that's kind of what he's saying. And for him to say that, there's no reason for him to say he's getting no benefit or credit by saying that. If anything, it's diminishing his own attributes. So it's I get it. If I'd have mixed it in the ring with him and he had the power and everything that he showed us so far, those little highlights of him. If you think he's the man, and he's just got time to prove it.
Tyson Fury has also jumped into the conversation, and unsurprisingly, he didn't hold back. The Gypsy King declared that he genuinely believes Itauma could beat Usyk. While bold, Fury's prediction fits his trademark confidence. He argued that Itauma's time is approaching fast, and that the young Brit has the tools to topple today's champions and usher in a new era of heavyweight dominance. His comments have only intensified hype around a potential Usyk-Itauma clash, with some fans framing it as a symbolic passing of the torch, even though Itauma remains largely untested at the highest level.
I keep getting asked about young Moses Atama fighting Oleksandr Usyk and fighting other big names. And my opinion is not someone who don't know boxing. My opinion is someone who has been there and won every single belt, won everything there is to win in boxing, and done very well. Boxing is a young man's game. Like I told Vladimir Klitschko when he was 37, boxing's a young man's game and he waits for nobody. So here's the opinion, you've heard it here first. Moses Atama will wreck all them old men out of the division. Usyk, AJ, Miller, whoever there is who's old, Zhang, whoever else there is, Luis Ortiz, all these big names of the past are all a spent force. And even the world champion now, if they took my belts and give them to Usyk, Moses will wreck him. Because he's a young man versus an old man. An old man can't mess with.
Not everyone shares Fury's confidence. Amir Khan, who knows firsthand what it means to rise as a teenage prodigy, has urged Itauma to proceed more carefully. Khan believes the young star should gain valuable rounds against durable opponents who can push him deeper into fights. Jumping into a title bout with Usyk too soon, Khan warns, could harm his long-term career. Like many others, Khan sees Itauma's talent but insists patience is key.
You want to rush him. You want to take it easy. You want to take it slow. Don't rush him. Let him enjoy. He's still 20 years old. Let him get to 22, 23 years old. And that's then you start putting him in with the top names in boxing, like the Usyks and like the Wilders or even the Joshuas and the Furies. At the moment, I think you should keep on building him. Let him keep on winning like this. I mean, if he'll keep on knocking him out, getting some good fighters, but not the world title level. I mean, what if he wins the world title at 21, what's he going to do then? He can't go backwards, you know what I mean? So.
Veteran warhorse Derek Chisora, who has faced Usyk in the past, is also firmly against the idea of the matchup right now. Chisora has no doubts that Usyk's skill, experience, and tactical brilliance would overwhelm Itauma at this stage. He's adamant that the young contender needs to build himself step by step, facing tougher opponents along the way, rather than risking it all against one of the most seasoned fighters in the sport.
When you look at the future for Itauma, what do you think about his next for him?
Next one, don't know. Depends with the paymasters. Where do you want to put him?
Okay, do you think Usyk's potential? Do you think there is a potential for him to fight Usyk?
Usyk will blow the smoke out. Usyk will kill him.
In the end, the debate over Moses Atama's readiness to fight Oleksandr Usyk highlights a familiar dilemma in boxing. What to do when raw talent meets rapid success. Itauma's knockout streak has undeniably electrified the heavyweight landscape, but experts remain divided on whether he's truly ready for a world champion of Usyk's caliber. Some see the makings of the next great heavyweight, while others insist he needs time and experience to sharpen his craft. Meanwhile, Usyk remains focused on recovery and has asked the WBO for an extension on his mandatory defense against Joseph Parker, citing injury. For now, the division waits with bated breath as both men weigh their next steps in what promises to be an explosive future for heavyweight boxing.